Hello, families and friends around the globe. This is Pat John-Oseh, and today on the Message of Hope with Pat, I have a special guest, an outstanding personality, someone that I have known for some years now, and I've always admired all of the things she's been doing around different communities, not just in Manchester, but the entire England. It's so good to have you on MHP, Debra Green. Debra Green is an OBE, that is, Order of the British Empire. She is the National Director and founder of Redeeming Our Community, ROC, a registered charity since 2004. She's a mother, a grandmother, and a wife to Frank Green. And the union is blessed with 4 grown-up children. You are working towards ensuring a safer and a kinder community for all. Could you please tell me a bit more about this?
It all started when a few years ago, we had a nickname in Manchester. Some people used to call Manchester Gunchester instead of Manchester. And that really shocked me because there was some violence in the streets, there was some young people carrying knives, there was people taking drugs, and I didn't want to live in a city where I was born and being a Christian and not to do anything about that. So we decided to start a charity back in 2004, as you've just said, to bring people of goodwill together towards safer, kinder communities.
Everyone wants to live in a strong and safe community, don't they? More than ever in these days, where our children and young people are vulnerable. Come to a Rock Conversation. We're going to celebrate all the good things about your neighbourhood and come up with exciting new ideas to make things.
The real key ingredient is bringing people together. People have different, things that they're good at, assets, it's technically called. What are we good at? What do we bring to the table? And the trouble was we were all working in our own different silos, including the church. So my vision was bring people together, link people together and see what we could do by sharing those resources. Well, in the past, the police have worked on their own. Everybody gets on with their own job, but this idea of linking people together, what happened was I went to see the Chief of Police in Manchester about 20 years ago and asked them, what are you trying to achieve in the city? What are some of the difficulties that you're facing? What are some of the challenges that you're facing? Because I want to go back to the churches and back to the community groups and see what we can do together. So, for example, one of the challenges was that there was a big spate of people stealing people's bikes. The police were really troubled about this, so they asked us, what can we do to help? And we managed to get lots of volunteers together from the churches to put a number marking on the bike so that the bike could be traced. It's about problem solving. It's about finding out what is going on in the community, what do each of the groups have to bring, and how can we solve those problems together? How can we come up with solutions? Also, we set up police surgeries in some of our churches and community centres because people don't want to go to the police station and they don't want to interfere with what's going on or report crime. But if the police officer would come to the church and they'd have a coffee, they would build up relationships, they would get to know the community. It helps to strengthen relationships. So in the recent years, we've had the whole problem with this pandemic and COVID-19. And because we've had groups set up around the country in partnership with the council and the police and other organisations, in Weston-super-Mare, which is a seaside resort in Somerset, the action group decided to do Corona Kindness. Corona Kindness, they had delivered leaflets to all the neighbourhood in every house to say, we are here for you. We can deliver your shopping, we can pick up your prescription, or we can even just have a phone conversation with you if you're feeling lonely. Because we know, and you'll be aware, that there's a massive problem with mental health, and mental health issues, especially amongst families and young people, have gone much higher. Depression has gone higher, domestic violence has gone higher, youth problems have gone higher. So we need to come together and actually serve and support communities. So that was just a simple idea, going to do some shopping for your neighbour, or for your, delivering some food, or just speaking to somebody on the phone. Sometimes you think, is it time for something to finish? It doesn't mean that because you start something that you have to do that for the rest of your life. Has God got a new call on your life? But we do have a sense that Rock is here for some years to come, because there's still so much work to be done. My message of hope would be that we have to begin to look outwards from our own homes and our own personal situation and begin to seek the prosperity of our community, because then we become more fulfilled. We begin to see that God is using us, that we see the fruit of our labour, and then we begin to prosper as well. It's a principle of generosity, isn't it? You can't outgive God. You give away, and you grow because you have to go through a learning curve of how do we do it. And I didn't know how to do it, but I just step out of the boat. We just step out of the boat, and that's when we can walk on the water.
Thank you very much, Debra. To be honest, I appreciate your time. Out of your very busy schedule, you were able to give us this time to come and share your message of hope with what you've been doing with Rock. And I believe everyone watching this program must have been inspired by your story, and hopefully would begin to also take positive step towards impacting your immediate community first before the wider community. Thank you all for your time, and stay safe.